What is legal now, but likely to be illegal in 1-2 years? Being able to marry a dead body in France. Hey, if I can't have her, then no one could have her. Laws are very local, so maybe in municipalities, having plastic grocery bags is legal now, and might be illegal in 2 years depending on where you live. Yes, this is true in the case where I live. Fruity flavored vapes. I work at a smoke shop and the FDA is trying really hard to ban them. Apparently, in New Zealand, they want to ban all tobacco sales. Anyone born after 2008 would have a lifetime ban. Wait, they want to grandfather it in. So at a certain point a 35-year-old can't smoke but a 36-year-old can. Yep, 36-year-olds shotgunning 35-year-olds with Salem lights. Hopefully calling someone from a random phone number, leaving no message, then calling 2 seconds later from a completely different phone number, then half an hour later doing that again with 2 new random phone numbers, then an hour later doing 3 in a row. Also calling homes from 1-800-888 numbers. Those should only be to receive calls. Basically make spoofing and all robocalls illegal and have actual penalties for those who do it. Yes, this is probably wishful thinking. It's hard to enforce. Robocalling is already illegal in the US. It would be a lot easier to enforce if spoofing wasn't possible. We need a technological solution at this point, not a legal one. Otherwise no one knows who to report. I had a guy call me the other day in a rage that some foreigner called him from my number. Start finding the telcos for every spoofed call and a technological solution will arrive pretty quick. Hopefully child marriage. They tried to make it illegal in Idaho, but the state rep said it went too far. Edit, guess which state has the highest number of child marriages in the US too? Child marriage is legal in the US. Why? Lawmakers with the mentality of my grandparents got married when they were 16 and 17, and they were happily married for over 70 years. If you try to make the minimum age to marry 18, then you're saying there's something wrong with my family. How dare you insult my grandma? My grandma got married at 15. She'll be the first person to support bans on child marriage. And yes, she's still very much alive. Advertising life-saving medicine that only applies to some conditions, as if it was a pizza. Right. Why would I ever ask my doctor about my coxsaclopin? They are my doctor. Sorry, they can search and prescribe whatever is right for me. Upvoted for my coxsaclopin. Beautiful. Fun fact, my coxsaclopin is usually twice as expensive as dexadrupin. But dexadrupin has 90% of the same ingredients. My coxsaclopin 90% sugar. 10% my coxsaclopin is in. Dexadrupin 90% sugar. 10% paracetamol. Something tells me bang energy. Justice for Locus. This is interesting. Very utopian versus dystopian. The future. Which direction are we heading towards? History has told us it will never be perfectly one or the other, and the balance comes in cycles. MLMs in my dreams. Anyway, God, I hope so. Fuhua carbon. Hopefully child beauty pageants. Agreed. Sick and ducked up. Absolutely disgusting. And so destructive to the poor children. Mentally. Using bots to buy things in bulk such as GPUs and PS5s, and then marking up the price to unreasonable levels. I really hope so. Pharmaceutical markups over 300%. In our dreams. My boyfriend is a type 1 diabetic, and it's heartbreaking to see how much it costs for him just to stay alive. Even worse, he is likely diabetic due to his father's exposure to Agent Orange during Vietnam. Going down to the river and catching 2 fish and then making them kiss. My VPN. My precious VPN. But how will they find me when I use it to set my location to a different country? Gary, we are tracking you Great Jam's location as we speak. We will nail the son of bitch for using a VPN. So he has left the country. It says he is in Japan now. Got him, you know. Now we can't get him. Sir, we just raided his home at night. Mr. Hiruto of Tokyo is being extracted to US by the Japanese authorities as we speak. He said he's done nothing wrong. Muhahaha. You thought you had fooled US Nord. But we got your man. You and UCAM are now obliged to make a webcomic series about these agents. There better be a lot of homoerotic tension. Hopefully facial recognition software. There have already been a number of mistakes. Link. Watering lawns in states with water shortages. Yay, they frown on watering lawns in southern New Mexico. 90% of houses are just rockyards, but those who have grass are seen as wasteful. We only get around 5 of rain a year lately. Thing is with rockyards, that just absorbs more heat and makes the area hotter like Phoenix. Why don't people plant native plants in their yard like creosote or mesquite stuff? Those absorb some CO2 to it, assume, though not alert. I'm a cactus and succulent fanatic. If I lived there I'd xeriscape my yard with all sorts of cacti and succulents as well as other cool looking dry climate plants like dragon trees and certain palms. More practical than lawn and better than a bunch of boiling hot rocks. Edit, these kinds of plants are expensive though, so that could be why people opt for grass or nothing. Claiming that one is a famous hairdresser. Compliment people on their hair, then offer to cut it for them, thus procuring access to their home and, rather than cutting their hair, simply touching it erotically. Apparently there is someone in the Netherlands who becomes particularly aroused from hair who repeatedly does this. But it's not illegal nor breach of contract as he offers to cut it free of charge. Wow, what the fuck, that's creepy. That person will end up escalating to something much more ducked up eventually. It sounds like it goes deeper than a hair fetish to them enjoying the feeling of making those people feel violated. Well, not exactly illegal, but cryptocurrency will be regulated by the second and government. It's not even the crypto that needs regulating, to be honest, but the damn exchanges do. Some of them are shady as duck with hidden rules and restrictions on how much and when you can sell, etc. It's everything. Right now people blatantly market manipulate all kinds of crypto coins. Heck, there was a streamer from like Farzeklan or something who marketed crypto to his audience, largely children, to buy a bunch of the coin he had gotten sponsored with. Once people started buying, dude dumped all his coins and the value tanked. He's done this like 2 or 3 times. At the rate Russia's massing troops, I'd say Ukrainian independence. I feel like that may take longer than 2 years. Between ground forces, airborne forces, and naval infantry, Russia could spare 187,000 troops, unless it's willing to commit more ground forces than already assembled. Of course they're 2,500 or so special forces, Wagner mercenaries and separatist forces would matter, but to take over all Ukraine they would still have so much territory to cover, and there are 400,000 troops in Ukraine. Not as well armed or supported, but still. They are going to occupy the eastern Donbas where they will be welcomed, but hold off on western Ukraine for now, and then plot their next move while everyone else sweats. 100% this. Provided the whole thing goes in Putin's favor, which it likely won't. They are not going to invade the whole country and certainly not the whole of Eastern Europe. Anyone who says they will has been watching too many conspiracy videos on it. Putin may be desperate for more internal support, but he's not suicidal. He knows he hasn't got a chance of winning a war with NATO, and any setbacks would mean the end for him. No, all that will happen is there'll be a massing of Russian troops on the border, but not enough to suggest a full-on invasion. There'll be some back and forth with the political jabs in the press, some closed-door meetings behind the scenes, and then an agreement that allows for a climb down. Putin doesn't get everything he wants, but does get some concessions, so that he at least has a way out. This is a game governments have been playing since at least the 19th century. 300,000 troops aren't nearly enough. You'd need at least 500,000 or even more. Plus, further large deployments facing the Baltic states and Poland to cover their flank. Don't pay any mind to the fear mongering until you see numbers like that. Serving vodka Red Bulls. So many bars near me have already removed them due to the health hazards, and many have switched to other energy drink alternatives. In my early 20s I would drink so many vodka Red Bulls I'd pass out drunk at 3 AM and then wake up with my heart racing at 5 AM. Wide awake and almost stone sober. I'm not sure how I survived. I bartended in my early 20s and we'd drink those towards the end of shift and keep it at the other bartender's house until 4 or 5 in the morning. Pass out on the couch and wake up like 3 hours later just buzzing in my bones. Hungover without the ability to sleep is awful. I'm 36 now. That would lay me up for 2 days or kill me if I did that again. Yo. Ever work those Red Bull sponsored events? They required we hand out a can of Red Bull with every drink. Not even like free upon request. Just why vomit? Sickly sweet vomit everywhere. We tipped the cleaning crew out so hard someone also shit on the floor. Just ducking awful for everyone involved. I don't know how anyone drinks normal Red Bull. Even the sugar-free variety is ridiculously sweet and that's just witchcraft. Delta 8 weed. What's going to happen to all the Delta 8 neon signs in the shop windows? Change to Delta 10 LOL. Philippine independence. A dictator's son will be winning next year's elections and it'll go downhill from that. I think you meant democracy. I don't think the Philippines is going to be taken over by another country. Abortion in some states. Texas. Looks like it might not end there. Here in the Netherlands, consumer fireworks grade 2 and above will likely get officially banned within a few years. Now during the pandemic the government has banned the usage of fireworks for New Year Eve. So an official ban will probably follow. Probably kratom. I see it advertised all over my city. Asked a random shop owner how much of it they sell. He said kilos a day. Privacy. According to the FBI it already is. Child marriage. Please ban this. Unlimited congressional terms. This won't happen. Federal term limits imposed by states have already been ruled unconstitutional, and there's no way Congress will term limit themselves. I'm crazy here, but gerrymandering. They'll just replace it with lerrymandering. Edit holy crap my first gold. Thank you Reddit fam. This ain't Parks and Rec but you might, literally, be super correct. Hopefully loot boxes. I'd like to say conversion therapy, but that seems overly optimistic. Just got banned in Canada. Fortunately. For-profit prisons. My homie Pedro. Deepfake technology. Well, maybe not in 2 years, but I'm assuming it will happen. Not until someone sufficiently important has fallen victim to it. Not until someone sufficiently important rich has fallen victim to it. Crypto mining in the EU. My home country's Sweden's financial inspection wants EU to outlaw mining for the climate. Yes, we are also the ones who closed a nuclear reactor for the climate and now we have to burn coal to get our needed energy. Good ducking job the Environment Party. Good ducking job. Plastic bags and plastic water bottles. I don't believe it. Big food companies will fight this one for years. Much too profitable versus using alternatives. Yeah, I'm not naive enough to believe it'll take less than a decade. Really hope I'm wrong though. In Canada, conversion therapy is going to be illegal in 30 days. Multiple people using the same Netflix password. VPNs letting you watch banned shows in your country. Delta 8 THC. Hopefully lobbying. Death penalty only in some states. Depending on the state. Abortion.